Be ashamed of yourself to show your face in public.
It's one of those extraordinary moments that will define Prince Harry and Meghan Markle in the same way that going ahead with the Oprah Winfrey interview while Prince Philip was dying in hospital literally did. Overnight, Thomas Markle was battling in surgery for his life in the Philippines.
Meghan was born, and she was born as a C-section, so she was put in my arm. I was the first person to hold her little hand went on my fingers like that.
Save me your fake concern, Ms. Markle. Given your own father has had his leg removed, is in a foreign hospital, and you couldn't be bothered to get on a plane, but indeed, you couldn't have been bothered to pick up the phone. And I'm not surprised that your brother, Thomas Markle Jr., is completely outraged by the way that you have behaved.
Kevin, take the titles away of these two ingrates, of these two idiots. Meghan Markle can't find a steamer to save her life. I'm sick of looking at Harry's bald spot. Who are you there to represent other than yourself? You are the two most entitled, self-obsessed.
Jordan royal family, King Abdullah and his eldest son, who have a close relationship with Charles and William, mind you, they swerved a meeting with the Sussexes. They completely ignored them.
She loves that because anything Harry, or rather William and Kate, does, they can do better. So William was in the Middle East only 2 weeks ago. Suddenly, Harry and Meghan are in the Middle East.
By the time most people heard the news, it was already too late to change it. Thomas Markle, 81 years old, watched his foot turn blue, then black, as doctors delivered the only verdict left on the table: amputate below the knee or lose his life. That surgery happened in December, and today he is in a hospital in the Philippines, enduring physical rehabilitation, being fitted for a prosthetic leg, learning how to stand and walk again without the limb he had his entire life. And while he was doing that, this week his daughter boarded a plane to Jordan, walked into a hospital room, sat beside a 14-year-old stranger, held her hand, and allowed the cameras to capture every carefully framed second of it.
Uncle's fake royal tour of the Middle East just got a hell of a lot worse. Not only are there Hamas connections, she is being slammed for the way that she dealt with this amputee girl, given that her own father is currently going through the process of being fitted for a prosthetic leg in the Philippines, and she hasn't been in touch with him at all.
That contrast alone tells a story louder than any press release ever could, and it did not go unnoticed. Even Queen Rania of Jordan saw what unfolded, and when you step back and examine the full picture, the silence surrounding this trip begins to speak volumes. Let's break it down.
All you do is jeopardize the monarchy, the real members of the British royal family. When you go do these trips, you don't do any of your due diligence. You end up at places associated with, a certified terrorist organization.
She loves that because anything Harry, or rather William and Kate, does, they can do better. So William was in the Middle East only 2 weeks ago. Suddenly, Harry and Meghan are in the Middle East.
Most outlets have treated Thomas Markle as a passing mention, a brief aside in a much larger narrative, but the reality is that his situation is the headline. Because once you line up the dates and follow the sequence of events, the timeline becomes impossible to ignore and deeply uncomfortable to confront.
In the principal's head, her father is now dead to her. And it was an astonishing briefing to me. And she has stuck by that. But I just remind everyone that until Harry came on the scene, she had a very close relationship with this man.
On December 2nd, 2025, Thomas Markle Sr., 81 years old and living in the Philippines, suddenly fell gravely ill. His son, Thomas Jr., rushed him to the hospital. The scans revealed a blood clot. His foot had already begun turning blue, then black. Doctors moved fast. Emergency surgery lasting 3 hours. The leg was amputated below the knee. Life or death, those were the exact words used. Thomas Jr. later went on camera and described how quickly it all happened, how there was simply no alternative left.
All right, I do blame Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle, the shit stain of humanity. Yes, Meghan, and I hope you're watching right now. I hope you're watching, Meghan, because you are the shit stain of fucking humanity. You're a disgrace, and I hope people spit in your face when they see you walking down the street. I hope, they throw human feces at you. because of how you really are as a person inside.
He explained plainly that his father's foot changed color with terrifying speed and that doctors had no option but removal. And what was Meghan's response? Her spokesperson told People magazine she had reached out via a letter, described as correspondence now safely in his hands through reliable and trusted contacts. A letter delivered through intermediaries, not a call, not a visit, not a flight across the ocean to see an 81-year-old father who had just lost his leg in order to survive.
Meghan, as we know, is the queen of terrible timing. Anything that she seems to do seems to come with the most appalling timing, whether it's, from leaving the royal family itself into the teeth of COVID, or anything that she does seems to have this incredible failure to think through the context of what she's acting in.
Then Thomas Jr. said something that lingered in the air long after the interview ended. He called it mind-boggling that his sister could keep moving through life without even placing a phone call. He said the focus now was getting their father fitted for a prosthetic and helping that man walk again. And then he added that he hoped the next time Meghan sees a disabled person, she thinks very hard. That statement was made just days before photographs emerged of her in a hospital in Jordan, seated beside a young amputee, holding her hand for the cameras.
It's just, mind-boggling how you could just continue to walk through life and not even give the man a phone call and pay for the best medical care that dad needs right now. He's going through therapy, he's going through physical rehab, and we're gonna have to get him fitted for a prosthetic here pretty soon and get that man walking again. So that's the goal, that's the priority, and I'm good doing that. And I hope next time, Meghan, that you see a disabled person or somebody who has, only one leg, I hope you think real hard. And I hope karma beats the living Christ out of your mentality. Because God knows, Meghan, God knows. He's got a special place for you right next to that cabinet. When you're not even going to get up there, you're going straight to hell.
Here is what took place at the specialty hospital in Amman. Meghan and Harry visited children who had been medically evacuated from Gaza. Children enduring real suffering, real trauma, circumstances no one disputes. Among them was Maria, a 14-year-old girl who suffered severe burns in an explosion and lost the toes on her right foot. Her injuries were so extreme that routine dressings often required anesthesia because the pain was unbearable.
Harry and Meghan's fake royal tour is backfiring tremendously. We have the footage, as well as the fact that the royal family of Jordan is snubbing them. Just wrapped up the royal tour over in Jordan. Harry and Meghan are there. And as footage is trickling in of them doing their charitable appearances, because as we all know, Harry and Meghan cannot do any charity unless there are cameras there.
And in some instances, even anesthesia was unavailable. The magnitude of what this child has endured is beyond comprehension. During the visit, Maria was asked on camera in front of photographers to show her injuries to Meghan and Harry.
World exclusive is extremely disturbing. Prince Harry and Meghan today visited a Jordanian youth centre run by an NGO whose listed staff had shared posts glorifying Hamas terrorists. Hamas is a designated terrorist organisation who approved this visit, and we know Harry and Meghan are signing up to the hard left playbook.
What followed is what many viewers cannot stop discussing. One comment, with nearly 1,000 likes, stated that asking an amputee to reveal her wounds to what they called disaster tourists felt deeply inappropriate. And then there was Meghan's expression in that split second, not the composed compassion seen in earlier images, but what multiple viewers described as visible shock, even horror, a reaction that slipped through before it could be masked. Her eyes show the truth, one person wrote. Consider the symbolism. A woman whose own father is currently being fitted for a prosthetic leg sits at the bedside of a child amputee, and in that unguarded moment, the face told a story no press team could edit away.
Expert Ingrid Seward believes this all could spark some tension behind closed doors. I would think they've had some pretty fiery rows about this topic because it's not at all how Harry wanted to be. They said they were leaving the royal family because they wanted a more private life, and they have created anything but that for themselves. It appears they left family because they wanted a public life and earn money. There must have been some pretty strong agreements over the privacy issue. Harry understands it better than Meghan due to his own experiences as a child. for Markle, public visibility may supposedly feel more natural because she appears to love the Hollywood life and the fame that goes with it.
Thomas Markle Sr. has never met his grandchildren. He has never met Harry. In an interview with the Mail on Sunday, he said he does not want to die estranged from his daughter. He said he has never stopped loving her. And the response, publicly acknowledged, was a letter sent through trusted contacts.
It seemed a bit rich anyway for Meghan to be talking about how your Christmas tree ornaments can honour your family when they have gone to great lengths to cut off and be estranged from their family. But then, as you say, when really, if any social media was going to be put out last night by Meghan, maybe a note acknowledging what her father was going through would have been the way to go. Instead, it's this bizarre appearance by Harry on Colbert. I mean, it was, I think, for
now, zoom out to the broader stage. Queen Rania attended William and Catherine's wedding. King Abdullah has met King Charles in London multiple times. Crown Prince Hussein shares a close friendship with William, and William and Catherine attended Hussein's wedding. The Jordanian royal family has long-standing, loyal ties to the British monarchy. Yet when Harry and Meghan arrived in Jordan, King Abdullah chose to meet separately with Dr. Tedros and the WHO, without Harry and Meghan present.
The king did meet with the leader of the World Health Organization that choreographed this trip for Harry and Meghan. There was a meeting between the World Health Organization and the royal family. It's just that the Duke and Duchess of Hamas were excluded from said trip.
The organization behind the visit secured time with the king. Harry and Meghan did not. That same week, King Abdullah met with the Indonesian president. Time was found, just not for the Sussexes.
Jordan royal family, King Abdullah and his eldest son, who have a close relationship with Charles and William, mind you, they swerved a meeting with the Sussexes. They completely ignored them. I want to go through this along with other updates that happen, but let's start here because, yeah, they're out there in the capital, Amman, and they've been there late on Tuesday. They had a royal tour within hours, a series of humanitarian visits to various charity organizations, providing countless photo opportunities, including an event at a British ambassador's residence with World Health Organization officials, which has been branded entirely inappropriate.
Queen Rania did not attend a single engagement involving them. No greeting, no photograph, no acknowledgement, just absence.
They've been snubbed by Jordan's royal family, King Abdullah and his eldest son, who are close with Charles and William, and they have swerved meeting the Sussexes, which makes this visit, this trip to Jordan, just seem even more pointless than it ever was.
The only royal appearance came from Princess Basma at one visit. That was the extent of it. Some have suggested scheduling conflicts, busy calendars, unfortunate overlaps, but the king's separate meeting with the WHO Director General during the very trip Harry and Meghan were participating in, a meeting they were excluded from, suggests something more deliberate than coincidence.
Imagine you are brought in as the celebrity ambassadors for who? And then the king is like, okay, let's meet, but don't bring your ambassadors. I'm only going to meet you. I don't want to meet them. That's not a good look for me. To meet your ambassadors who you've flown out and are there as the celebrities getting all the photo ops. No photo ops for them.
That kind of exclusion does not require a press statement. It is a message delivered through positioning and protocol. Queen Rania knows Catherine personally. She understands what Jordan represents to that family. She is fully aware of timing and optics, especially coming just after William's visit to Saudi Arabia. And her response was silence, a silence that resonated louder than any diplomatic greeting. There is also a clip circulating that has drawn intense scrutiny. Upon arriving at the WHO roundtable to meet Dr. Tedros, Meghan physically stepped ahead of Harry to greet him first. Harry, son of the King of England, the blood royal, the reason they were present in that room, was momentarily sidelined. Commenters immediately noted how unusual it appeared, questioning whether it was appropriate for her to take precedence. Later, as the roundtable progressed, Harry held a blue card prepared with remarks, but when the moment came, Meghan took the microphone. Viewers described Harry's expression as a mix of frustration and resignation. Throughout the trip, Footage shows Meghan repeatedly reaching for Harry's hand, and in multiple instances, he appears to pull away. These are observations drawn directly from video, not speculation, but what audiences say they see with their own eyes. The trip itself was organized by the World Health Organization. They traveled with one selected reporter and one photographer, their own, not an open press pool. Former staffer James Holt appeared in multiple photos documenting the visit, with imagery centered heavily on Meghan. Their Archewell-related philanthropic contributions reportedly totaled around $500,000 to projects in Jordan, creating a donor stewardship context where benefactors are sometimes invited to witness funded initiatives firsthand. But questions remain. Who covered flights, security, accommodations, production staff, wardrobe changes, logistics? This is the same couple whose original foundation structure struggled, who reduced staff and restructured amid financial pressures, who quietly closed prior initiatives in the UK. Yet in Jordan, there was a motorcade, police protection, full media coordination. Additionally, British Ambassador Peter Hall welcomed them publicly, hosted them at his official residence, and introduced them using their full royal titles: HRH, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, HRH, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, titles previously stated as restricted for commercial use. Former Minister Tom Tugendhat questioned whether private citizens should be hosted in that capacity, raising protocol concerns. And on day 2, Harry and Meghan visited the King Hussein Cancer Center, while King Charles is undergoing cancer treatment and Catherine is in remission, without publicly acknowledging either of them. No mention, no message, just controlled imagery and handwritten notes pinned to a wall. Meanwhile, Thomas Markle Sr. continues rehabilitation in the Philippines, learning to walk again with a prosthetic. His daughter sent a letter through trusted contacts, then traveled to Jordan and allowed cameras to document her holding the hand of a child amputee. Queen Rania, who has witnessed genuine compassion up close for years, chose not to appear. Thomas Markle Jr. said he hopes karma addresses what he called his sister's mentality. So after everything that unfolded this week, do public actions reveal private character? Yes or no? Tell me below. Every comment gets read. If this gave you the timeline, the context, and the footage others skim past, subscribe. No spin, just what happened, when it happened, and what the cameras captured before the moment moved on.